And we are live. Thanks everybody for coming out for today's live broadcast on Facebook. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. It's middle of June and hot, sticky, and humid. Over the weekend, I had the chance to go visit my sisters down in Tampa, Florida, and had a great time with them. But the weather can get a little crazy in Florida in the summer. On the flight back, our flight sat at the gate for a little while, and then a little while longer while the clouds rolled in, and the flight attendants came on and said that we'd be waiting a few minutes. And then a few minutes turned into a few more minutes. Hey, Hassan. Hey, Robert. Hey, Pam. Good to see you. As the flight attendants told us we'd be waiting a little bit longer, I would check the weather on the radar to see what we were in for. And it looked like there were going to be a lot of storms coming through Florida over the middle of the afternoon. And the target time for the flight kept getting further and further away. And some people on the plane started to get a bit worried, started to express their concern about having to sit at the gate and why couldn't we go. And it was frustrating. In fact, we took off about 3 hours later than we were supposed to. So we sat at the gate for 3 hours with really nowhere to go. Nothing to do, nothing to eat, whatever. And I could see how it was frustrating for a lot of people. But one of the things that I kept reminding myself was, if the plane's delayed, hey Cheryl, hey Ed, good to see you. If their plane's delayed, there's either something wrong with the plane, something wrong with the pilot, or something with the weather in between here and where you want to go. And in all three cases, I'd rather be on the ground because it's safer there. The good news is we had plenty of power on the plane, plenty of Wi-Fi on the plane while we were sitting there waiting. So my phone was plugged into an outlet and got to text with people and share information and talk online with my daughter, who was waiting for the Tony Awards to come on. And so, I was able to kind of keep myself busy while the plane was waiting. And by and large, it wasn't a bad thing. We got home late, got to bed about midnight, and was tired this morning. But the good news is I had a great time with my sisters over the weekend. The flight got home safely, and nobody's the worse for wear. So that was all good. Then, as the plane flew, I got to watch the Tony Awards live that my daughter was watching at home. So we kind of shared that experience at the same time. And, lots of people like different shows, but one of the really cool things that we got to see a show called Hadestown, which was a lot of fun to see. And if you're in New York, go see it. It's really, really good. And I think it won something like 8 Tony Awards last night. It didn't win any of the Best Actor or Best Actress awards. However, one of the Best Feature Actors was a guy named Andre DeShields, who's 73 years old. It's been in theater for 40 years or more, and it's his first Tony. And one of the things he said in his acceptance speech was he had 3 rules for being able to survive a long time in the theater. One is to surround yourself with people whose eyes light up when they see you coming. 2, slowly is the fastest way to get to where you want to be. And 3, the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next, so keep climbing. And I thought that was pretty good. It's sometimes it may be taking a long time to get to where you want to go. But if you keep at it, you'll get there. If you're not around the people who enjoy being around you, find better people. So surround yourself with people who are excited to be around you. And when you're climbing, sometimes you think you might have reached the top, but there's always somewhere else to go. So I thought those 3 things were interesting and useful and important to remember. But if you're in New York, go see Hadestown. It's great. And then we're getting to the next chapter in the book. So the book is called Get Out the Door. And it was funny. I was working on the outline and realized that I had more chapters to write than I had originally thought I was going to write. I thought I'd have about 20 to 25 chapters. I'm now up to 30, and I'm sure I'm going to need the help of an editor to make this make sense when I get done with it. But I posted chapter 1 a couple weeks ago, chapter 2 last week, and chapter 3 is live now. So if you go to www.hollyworks.com, you'll see the latest version, and I'll post a direct link to the specific entry after that. But if you go to the front page, the latest entry is always there. Hey, Sam, good to see you. Sue Payne, good to see you. I'll see you in 2 weeks at the Western High School reunion. So that'll be fun to do. But chapter 3 is up there, and the story starts to get a little more interesting. The first chapter was just about kind of where I'd been. The second chapter was about wanting to get a motorcycle. And the third chapter, I start to tell about what happened once I got it. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but go read it. Let me know what you think. And if there are more details that you think need to be brought out, let me know, because my goal is to make this the best story possible and still keep it true. But every time you go in to write something, sometimes you remember more details. And that's what happened with the outline. There was one chapter that I thought would cover an entire year, and I realized that story in itself has about 4 or 5 different parts. So I broke that into different parts. Now I've got 30 chapters to deal with. So I'm excited about that and excited to post the latest link. And I was able to get a few more links up there that you'll see released every week. So there'll be a new chapter every week. And you can always go back and read the previous chapters. But my commitment is to release a new chapter each week. So what I need to do is to stay a couple weeks ahead of you guys and to make sure that I'm working on the book as much as I need to get it done in time. And the cool thing is, everybody has a story to tell. And hey, Andrea, good to see you. As your husband would say, your husband, Mark Brown, he'd say, your life tells a story, and someone out there needs to hear it. And that's why I'm doing this book, is I lived this story, and there are a lot of lessons I think I learned from that story, but I think it can apply to other people. So that's why I'm writing the book and why I'm putting those details down on paper or on the computer to see if I can add value to somebody else's life. If they've been through a similar situation to how I've been through, that maybe they can learn from it too. So if they can learn, I can learn, and that's all a cool thing. So that's pretty much what's going on this week. Had a great time with my sisters down in Florida. Had a delayed flight back, but got home okay, and that's awesome. Andre DeShield's speech last night is surround yourself with people whose eyes light up when you walk in the room. Realize that the fastest way to get where you're going is sometimes to go a little bit slower. And that the top of one mountain is always the beginning of the next. So keep climbing. It's great to see everybody. And put your comments here. Go to www.hollyworks.com. Let me know your feedback on the story. You can comment directly on the blog there with your comments there, or here on Facebook. And you can follow me here. You can follow me there on my blog as well. So it's www.hollyworks.com. I look forward to hearing your comments on the story, and keep reading and keep climbing. And until next week, get out the door. After that, the rest is easy. We'll see you next week.